Welcome to another episode of Ranching. On this episode of Ranching, there will be a little update on the 61 project. If you don't know the 61 until now, here is the episode where we introduced them. And here is the episode where we made our to-do list. What is still on the list to do to finish him. On today's episode, we will talk a little bit more about him and the progress he made to get a car again. So, time to uncover him. Hey. In the last days and weeks, I started to put him back together. He is mostly welded through. I say mostly because there is one or two spots I still have to weld. But I finished more or less the fender, straightened them out, cut them. Because, you know, as you see, he has a different body line than a normal 60. He is kinda a little shaped. There are already some parts painted like hood and doors and the tailgates. I put him mostly together to see if everything lines up, and because the fenders are from a 62, the doors are from different Land Cruisers, and so I had to put everything in. Now I will later adjust everything before I start Fender Work and everything, because when there is paint on it, there is no way I can change anything without destroying it. That is where we are now. We will go a little deeper into the project. As you see, it is more or less complete. What I did the last days was mainly work on the fenders. I had to weld both fenders around here. The left one a lot more than the right one. As you see here, I had to cut out a lot of sheet metal and crap repairs, and I did it because I don't want to work over it in 3 years again. So I kinda try to do somehow a all-out thing without buying too much new parts. I mean, it is not about the price, it's about to get them, and that is kinda difficult after 40 years. But you see here, we mounted 62 wings because my brother likes the look of the vents on the 62. Also, it is kinda different here in Europe because there are so many 61s, and this car now sticks a little out of the crowd. Also, as I already mentioned, we cut him. It gives him more off-road look, and also he is not lifted that much. He is lifted by about 10 centimeters, and there are 285s on it. But as you see, plenty of room to go over obstacles without denting in the rocker panel or the rear quarter panel. Then the doors. The doors actually are from two different Land Cruisers. That's the original color of the car. That's the original door. This door is from a 62. We also mounted some US mirrors, because if you know the Euro style mirrors, as I show you afterwards on a 60 I have here, they look kinda small and silly, and I mean, it's always better to see more in a mirror. So that's why the US mirrors, and also it does look good. I mean, the overall car does look good. There are doors. Here we have our rear quarter panel. What you see here, still bare. We have to do the Fender Work and probably some welds, but we will see it. I mean, there is always something you forget about when you do so much work on a car. As I said, the rear quarter panel, the Fender Work is still to do. And as you see here, here is cut also here, and we have also here plenty of room without dragging his ass in the mud if we do some off-road with it. But yeah, what is still to do? The things what are now left to do in terms of welding are the rear two doors. I will cut both doors around here and replace the sheet metal down here, because where it is bent inwards to the inner layer, it is rusty. And actually, I could grind it out or do some sandblasting, bend it back in, and then put some sealant over it, and probably it will hold up for some years. But as I said, I don't want to work over it, so we will do the doors too. After the doors and everything is lined up, as I mentioned before, so I know the doors fit in, every gap is okay-ish. They are never perfect on these cars. Some are bigger, some are smaller. but as I said, it's actually 2 Land Cruisers, not one. I used the parts of 2 Land Cruisers to get one out. So I have to do this work before everything is painted to don't have problems afterwards. After the doors are finished and I know everything lines up, we will disassemble the whole car again, lift the body from the frame, then the body goes to the sandblaster, gets sandblasted all the way until no rust is left, and I say no rust. To get probably 89% rust-free Land Cruiser, that is probably how you get them from factory. They are not even rust-free from factory because they rust like hell. After the sandblaster, we will put on some zinc primer on it, let it dry, and then we will start with the bodywork. But you will be with me, you will see it, and also I will keep you updated. And now I will show you a comparison between the 61 and the stock 60, that you see what is changed on the car and how much better it looks when everything is shaped and the car is lifted with bigger tires. Let's go! Time to reveal this beauty! And here is the 60. I said we'll compare to the 61. We will talk about this car in another episode, but now it is just for a comparison. But now we will just compare these two cars. This was another episode of Ranching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video, follow us on our social media, and we see us the next time.